Your book cover has exactly 3 seconds to convince a reader to click. 3 seconds. And here's the truth most authors don't want to hear. Book covers aren't art. They're psychological triggers. The most successful authors in every genre understand this fundamental principle, and it transforms how they approach cover design. In analyzing thousands of book covers and their sales performance, one pattern emerges consistently. The covers that convert browsers into buyers aren't necessarily the most beautiful or artistic. They're the covers that trigger the right psychological response in the right reader at the right moment. The difference isn't creativity or budget. It's understanding how the human brain processes visual information and makes split-second decisions. And here's the insight that really changes the game. When authors shift from thinking, "What do I like?" to "What triggers my ideal reader?" their cover performance can improve by 2 to 3 times. So today, we're going to break down the psychology behind effective book cover design, the genre conventions that actually matter, and how to test and optimize covers for maximum conversion. And if you find this analysis helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're building a community focused on understanding what actually works in publishing, and your support helps us continue this research. Let's start with the reality of how readers discover books. When someone scrolls through Amazon or browses a bookstore shelf, they're making snap decisions at incredible speed. Research shows the average book cover gets evaluated in 3 seconds or less. Sometimes it's barely 1 second. In that impossibly short window, the cover needs to communicate three critical pieces of information. What genre is this? Is this for me? And does this look professional enough to trust? This is where genre conventions become crucial. Every genre has established visual expectations that have been reinforced through years of reader behavior. Romance readers expect certain color palettes and imagery because those visual cues signal emotional intimacy and relationship-focused content. Thriller readers expect dark tones, bold typography, and tension-creating imagery because those elements trigger anticipation and suspense. These patterns aren't arbitrary, they're psychological shortcuts that tell readers this is the book you're looking for in a fraction of a second. The data on genre convention adherence is fascinating. Covers that follow their genre's visual language convert at significantly higher rates than covers that try to be unique or artistic in ways that confuse genre signals. But here's the nuance. Breaking genre rules can work, but only when authors understand the rules they're breaking and why. The most successful unconventional covers still maintain enough genre cues to be recognizable while standing out in strategic ways. Color psychology plays a massive role here. Romance covers using soft pinks, purples, and warm tones aren't just pretty. They're triggering associations with emotions, warmth, and intimacy before the reader even processes the title. Thriller covers dominated by dark blues, blacks, and aggressive reds are creating feelings of tension and danger on a subconscious level. Self-help books featuring bright, optimistic colors are communicating hope and transformation. Fantasy covers with rich purples, golds, and mystical tones evoke wonder and adventure. Your genre's color palette is doing psychological work before any conscious decision-making happens. Typography is communicating as much as your title itself. Font choices trigger immediate associations. Serif fonts suggest tradition, authority, and literary quality. Sans-serif fonts feel modern, clean, and accessible. Script fonts evoke emotion and personality. But here's what the data shows consistently. Readability wins every time. The most beautiful font in the world is a failed cover element if it can't be read at thumbnail size. And that brings us to perhaps the most critical test for modern book covers, the thumbnail test. Industry analysis shows that 90% of potential readers will see a cover as a tiny thumbnail first, whether on Amazon, social media, or promotional emails. The covers that succeed are designed thumbnail first. Shrink your cover to the size of a postage stamp. Can you still read the title? Does the core imagery still communicate? If not, the cover needs simplification. Successful covers follow clear composition rules that maximize impact at any size. Visual hierarchy matters tremendously. The eye should move intentionally through title, author name, and imagery in that order of importance. Contrast ensures text pops against backgrounds rather than getting lost. Negative space gives elements room to breathe instead of creating visual clutter. Every successful cover has a deliberate focal point where the eye lands first. Case studies of cover redesigns reveal consistent patterns. Authors who simplify cluttered covers, increase contrast, and optimize for thumbnail visibility typically see conversion improvements of 50 to 200%. The redesigned version often feels too simple to the author initially, but it performs dramatically better because clarity beats complexity in those critical 3 seconds. This is also where professional authors start thinking long term about their promotional materials. When you're creating business cards, bookmarks, or printed promotional pieces for events and conferences, you want QR codes that can evolve with your marketing strategy. Tools like Mins become valuable here because authors can create professional QR codes for their book promotions that can be updated without reprinting materials. You print your promotional cards once with a clean QR code design, but you can update where it points as your campaigns evolve. Whether you're promoting a new release, a limited time discount, or bonus content, the same printed materials keep working. Here's where most authors make their biggest mistake. They guess instead of test. The cover you personally love might not be the cover that sells. Industry data shows that authors' preferences and reader preferences align less than 40% of the time. Professional authors test everything. A/B testing cover variations provides concrete data instead of opinions. Create 2 or 3 cover variations and test them with your actual target audience. Facebook ads to genre-specific audiences, beta reader groups, and ARC reviewer feedback all provide valuable signals. The key is tracking which version generates more clicks, more engagement, and ultimately more sales. Don't ask people which cover they like. Track which cover they actually click on and purchase. The testing process needs to account for different contexts. Digital optimization focuses on thumbnail visibility and screen brightness variations. Colors that look vibrant on a computer screen might appear washed out on a phone. Print considerations include accurate color reproduction, the difference between RGB and CMYK color spaces, and how covers look under different lighting conditions. Professional authors test their covers in both digital and physical formats before finalizing. There's also a practical consideration about when to invest in professional design versus DIY approaches. The data suggests that DIY covers can work for authors who understand these psychological principles and have design skills. But for authors whose books aren't selling and who have DIY covers, that's often the primary problem. Professional designers internalize these psychological principles and genre conventions instinctively. They understand visual hierarchy, color psychology, and thumbnail optimization from years of experience. The investment in professional design typically pays for itself through improved conversion rates. And speaking of professional tools, this is exactly why successful authors track their cover testing and promotional campaigns carefully. When you're running cover tests with different promotional materials, you want to know which combination drives the most engaged readers. Using trackable QR codes on different versions of your promotional materials lets you measure real behavior, not just opinions. You can test different cover variations paired with different promotional copy, all pointing through unique QR codes that tell you exactly what's converting. The core truth about book cover psychology is simple but challenging. Your cover isn't about what you like. It's about what triggers the right psychological response in your ideal reader. It's about genre expectations, visual hierarchy, and thumb-stopping power at the smallest thumbnail size. The research points to 3 clear action steps for authors evaluating their covers. First, audit your current cover using the thumbnail test and genre conventions checklist. Shrink it down, check the contrast, verify the genre signals are clear. Second, research your top 10 competitors in your specific genre niche. What visual patterns do they consistently share? Those patterns exist because they work psychologically. Third, test before you commit to any cover decision. Get feedback from your target readers specifically, not just friends and family who want to be supportive. Remember that your cover creates the first impression, but your promotional materials create the lasting relationship with readers. Whether someone discovers you through Amazon, social media, or picks up your business card at an author event, every touch point should feel professional and trackable. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We put out new content every week analyzing what actually works in publishing, and your support enables this research to continue. Drop a comment below and tell us, what's been your biggest challenge with book cover design? Have you tested different covers and seen real performance differences? We read every comment and would love to hear your insights. And if you're an author serious about professional promotional materials that can evolve with your marketing strategy, check out Mins. Create dynamic QR codes for your books and campaigns that you can update without reprinting your business cards, bookmarks, or promotional materials. Print once, update forever. There's a free trial link in the description below. The evidence is clear. Professional authors treat covers as psychological tools, not artistic expressions. Master the psychology, test relentlessly, and watch your conversion rates transform. We'll see you in the next video.